Pronto. Já nos estão a ouvir ou não?
Colocou o microfone em mute. Se estão a ouvir, se não estão a ouvir. Agora ninguém disse. Hi everyone, welcome to another BindTuning webinar. This time we'll be talking about customizing BindTuning themes with Beatriz Oliveira. I want to make sure you guys are listening to us, so use the comment section if you're not. Eu queria ver a versão, desculpa. Okay, so this is free, these webinars. They are ongoing and always updated, and they will be recorded and available online. For the agenda, we have first selecting a theme, second the customization panel, 3 the magic tool, 4 choosing colors, 5 choosing fonts, and 6 more options. So Beatriz will pick it up now. So Beatriz, hi.
Thank you, Claudia. And hi, everyone. So my name is Beatriz Oliveira, and I'm the CEO and founder of BindTuning. I will be walking you through the process of customizing themes using the BindTuning tool. And along the way, I will share some of my best tips and tricks with you. So stand by and wait for the best. Okay, every time that you guys have a new project in hands, you have a new customer in hands, the first thing you do is decide the basics for the design. And when thinking about bind tuning, we're talking about selecting a theme. And typically, we can come from two scenarios. So either we have an existing mockup from a third-party company, from your design, from your designers in-house, whatever, or we have no mockup at all. So basically, when we have an existing mockup, decision of going to bind tuning and selecting a theme is pretty straightforward. So if you take the example of this particular mockup, you will see that I have some elements that will drive my decision on selecting a theme on bind tuning. I have a logo on the left that is aligned with navigation. And for example, this simple element will drive me to choose, to pick certain themes instead of others. Let me quickly show you how this translates in bind tuning. So basically this is the bind tuning tool. If we go to themes, you will see that some of the themes have a similar layout to that, as is the case, for example, of Terra, where we have a logo right next to navigation, but others don't. So if I was to pick WePro with a logo on top and a navigation on bottom, obviously I could not fulfill this requirement of this existing mockup. So when you have a mockup, decision is quite straightforward. But what if you don't? So what type of decisions, what type of elements will define how you will actually create all the customizations on bind tuning, and how will you select a theme instead of another? Basically, the first element you should take into account is the logo. And there are different kinds of logos, from horizontal to vertical to square logos. And some themes will fit better than others depending on the logo format. So let's take this logo as an example, which is an horizontal logo. A theme like this, which is our free Bootstrap theme, would be perfect for this type of logo, since the logo completely fits the area where it's supposed to. So if we go back to bind tuning, we can see that themes, for example, like Metro, and I can quickly show you Metro, where we have the logo with a smaller area right next to the login. This would fit an horizontal logo. The Bootstrap theme, as I quickly showed you, so this would also be a good fit for a horizontal logo. The Zeus theme, which has very limited space for the logo, also right next to navigation. All these would be good options for selecting a theme when we have a horizontal logo. What if we have a vertical kind of logo? So in a case like this, obviously we have to select a theme where we see that the logo will fit nicely without breaking the layout of the theme. And in this case, for example, a theme like Sample Kit would be a good option for a vertical logo. So if we go back to bind tuning, you will see that themes like the SPC theme, for example, where we have an area for the logo that actually adjusts. So let's quickly see a bigger preview. So basically, if I have a logo that is vertical, all this area will come to the bottom and will create a space where the vertical logo can fit. So this would be a good option for a vertical logo. In the same way, we have Sample Kit, where the layout will expand to the bottom when we place vertical logos on this area. So the logo will be the first driver for your theme selection in bind tuning. But you will have other parameters that will define which theme to select. when starting your design. And this may be related to navigation requirements, for example. And when we talk about navigation requirements, some websites will have a lot of menu items. This will be, for example, the case of intranets, and typically in intranets, we have a lot of options on the top navigation area. And for scenarios with a lot of options on the top navigation area, typically top menus that span the full width of the page are preferable. So let's, for example, take a look at WePro, where we have a navigation that goes from side to side. So this would be a good option when we have a lot of navigation elements to fit. For example, the Rango theme. This would also be a good option when we have a lot of navigation elements, because we have room to fit a lot of elements. But when we have a website that does not require that the top menu is large, so we know that we have limited elements like 4, 5, 6 elements, we can go and select other type of themes. That would be the case of Terra, where we have a limited space for navigation next to the logo area. This would be, for example, the case of the Flexo theme too, where we also have a limited room for top navigation, since we already have on the same line, we already have the logo and the search box. So basically, navigation will also drive this decision of selecting the theme. Responsive design is also a very important aspect when we are selecting a theme, because basically, if mobile support is required, obviously, when you get to BindTuning, you have to make sure that the theme does support mobile and tablet design. Basically, BindTuning uses the Bootstrap framework to guarantee that themes behave responsively when displaying on mobile devices. And there is a very easy way for you to see if a theme is responsive or not. So basically, when you enter one of our themes and you go to the theme description, you will quickly see if the theme is built with Bootstrap on this area. So there is a description explaining the features that are related to Bootstrap. So if we select another one, you will see that on the bottom of the theme description, you have the information that the theme is built with Bootstrap. Another element that might drive your decision on one theme over another is the need to have header content. And what is exactly header content? Basically, on our header area, typically we have the logo, obviously. We will have navigation somewhere, but sometimes we do need room for more information, as is the case, for example, of having social media icons, of having certain kind of smaller banners, or other type of information, as is, for example, some contact information, fast, easy to access contact information on the top of the page. Themes like, for example, the SPC theme do have that type of area. So if you take a look at this particular theme, you will see that we have the logo here, we have navigation search, but above the search area, we do have an area where you are able to place your own information if necessary. This is also the case, for example, let's go back to the themes list. This is also the case of the Zeus theme. So for example, on the Zeus theme, and let me select it so that we can all see. So if I choose Customize Now and get to the Zeus theme, and let me just reset this. Okay, basically we have an area above the top navigation where we can actually add that type of information. So in this case, social media icons, as we could be adding contact information or other. So this is also an aspect to take it into account when selecting your theme. And the final element that I would like to bring up today is the necessity to actually define a background color or a background image. And when it comes to backgrounds, let me just explain quickly that BindTuning themes include several different layouts with every theme. Taking this Zeus theme as an example, you will see that we have a wide layout, and this wide layout obviously spans the full width of the page. But we also have other layouts available, as is the case of a wide layout with a sidebar. So the same type of base layout spanning the full width of the page, but with a side navigation. Or we have boxed layouts on this theme. And boxed layouts will actually allow us to see the background area of the page. So basically we have content in a box, but we can actually see the background. And if we do want, and if we need to define a background for the page, typically try to find themes that include layouts where you can actually set the background. So this is possible in BindTuning, and this is a very important option. The fact that BindTuning themes include a lot of different layouts for you to select from, and once you actually download the theme, you will have all the layouts available in case you need to make that kind of decision. Okay, so these were some considerations when actually selecting a theme. And once you have decided on the theme, let's create a basic example. And for today's demo, let's imagine that I'm a company and I have a client whose name is Business Monster, and the Business Monster company actually purchased a logo online months ago, and they now are trying to create their web presence, and they want to use a BindTuning theme. So let's start going, and let's go to the customization panel, and let me explain to you a little bit more about what's available when you select a BindTuning theme and what's available in terms of options for you to customize. So we will start by this initial panel, and this initial panel has a top information that is very important across all themes, and this is the base color scheme for the theme. Typically, we have always 6 colors for this base color scheme. If you mouse over each color, you will have more information of where each color is being applied by default when you open the theme. So this would be a base color, this would be for the page background, this would be for the header background, and so on. And these colors will not only be applied to the elements that are described on these tooltips, but to many other elements within the theme features and within the widgets. So we provide a very quick way for you to change colors by providing these sample color schemes to choose from, but we have more specific options. Basically, we have the background area, which will allow you to change backgrounds. We will go into more detail in a minute. We will have the width of the page, text styles, and if you move on to advanced text styles, you will see that you can actually define not only fonts, but also the font size, as well as a lot of different colors. We have menu information, where we can actually set different colors for navigation, and I will also go through this in a minute. We have containers, and containers is a concept that does not apply to every CMS platform that is supported by BindTuning. So basically, when you are on a theme, and if you go to structure, and if you see a containers option, it means that this platform actually does support containers. And let me quickly show you what do containers mean. Because for those of you not using CMS platforms supporting containers, probably this might be a weird concept, but let me just quickly show you what this means. So basically containers are kind of boxes that wrap content. In this case, it's just a title, in this one too, but this one will be a title with a box and a border. This one also title and a border. This one would be, for example, a solid color box. So these would be containers. And then just to wrap up, we have the tokens area, and basically the tokens area will display a lot of different tokens in the page that you can actually select and unselect. Like for example, if I do not need a search on my page, I can actually just remove it and it will not be displayed. Okay, so this is a quick tour on the customization panel. And I'm trying to create my monster business website. And I do have a lot of options in BindTuning, so where do I start from? And to help us, to help you guys with a very quick and easy way customizing a theme, we actually created an amazing tool, which is the magic tool. And let me just go to another layout so you can actually see this layout with a title. So basically the magic tool is the fastest way for you to get to an initial design without having to inspect a lot of things or make a lot of research on colors or fonts or whatever. So basically the second option on these icons on the left panel, if you click the second option, it will pop up the magic tool. And you can start in two ways. So the first will be uploading an image. The second will be providing an URL. If I was to provide a URL, let's say if I needed to create a website that resembled, for example, Facebook.com, I could just type in my URL, ask the magic tool to provide me the color scheme. So I have the initial color scheme. I have the information of how this color scheme will actually be displayed on this particular theme, and this changes from theme to theme. So if you mouse over the colors, you will actually see how these colors apply, and this is different in every theme. And if I click preview, I can actually see how this will actually look. I can quickly also make changes. For example, if I don't like this gray area on the top and I see, okay, so this is the header background and I want it to be blue, I can quickly drag and drop colors from this top area to the bottom. I can hit preview again and I have a new layout for my theme. And once I'm happy with this initial configuration for the color scheme, I could just say, okay, I'm done. And I would have all the other remaining options available now based on this initial color scheme that was defined by the magic tool. But I have another option, so let me just reset this. Since I already have a logo, so my business, which is the Monster company, already has a logo, I can actually go and use the magic tool by uploading my logo. So basically I will upload the Monster logo and it will provide me a color scheme that is based on the logo. And if I click preview, I also have a very interesting configuration based on the logo I provided. And using the magic tool is actually the fastest way for you to get going. But not always this is the best way. The color scheme that is provided might not be exactly what you are looking for, or you are trying to select a different type of colors. So I will try to guide you through my way of actually selecting colors when I go to BindTuning and I have to create a new color scheme. What do I do? So the first thing when you actually have a logo is setting or selecting an initial color for this color palette. And this first color, which is the base color for the theme, typically defines a lot of items within the BindTuning themes. And these items are related to the list groups, the tabs, pagination, a lot of different elements are based on that first initial color. So this first color is very important in BindTuning. I strongly advise you to install a few plugins in your browsers. So what I use are some browser extensions like Colorzilla. So this one here, that actually allows me to pick a color from the web page that I'm seeing at this moment. So if on this page, if I select Colorzilla and I say, okay, pick from page, and any color, I mouse over any color, you'll see that I have the RGB color and I have the X color for whatever element I'm mouse overing. And this is a great way for you guys to grab your first color for the color scheme. If you don't know exactly what color you are looking for, so you have a logo or you have a reference URL or you have an image that you want to base your layout in, you can actually use this type of plugins for the browsers to actually help you select a color. So let's say that I'm selecting this first one and it's actually copied to my clipboard. What should I do next? Because one color, obviously, and let me also reset this quickly so that we can start over. So basically one color is not enough, right? So if I start defining the color scheme all over again, I can come here and I can just paste the color that I have. But this is not enough because I will have other elements that I want to change and I want to set the initial scheme based on that color. So what colors would go well with that initial color? And to help us out, there are numerous tools, and I want to show you a couple of tools today that I use all the time. Basically, the first one that I would like to show you today is Adobe Color CC, and this is an amazing tool to create color schemes based on one color. So you just have to come here, paste your initial color, and it will quickly create different color schemes based on different algorithms. So I can get analogous colors, I can get a monochromatic color scheme, a triad color scheme, complementary colors, very interesting. I can get a compound color scheme, and I can get shades for the same exact color. So Adobe Color CC, which was Adobe Cooler previously, is an amazing tool for you to actually get an initial color scheme. But if you don't find a color in this initial scheme or if you don't find a scheme on using this tool that fits your needs, there is actually another tool that is also very interesting, which is Color Lovers. And if you go to Color Lovers and select Browse Palettes, it will allow you, and you can click Search, it will allow you to search colors based on that same hexadecimal color. So I'll paste the color again and I'll say, okay, please search color palettes. Oh, and I must have pasted wrong. So 1 second, let me go back to BindTuning. Where is my color? So basically 8FA526, 8FA526. All right, this is it. And let me search color schemes, and amazingly, I only get one. And this is because this is a very, very specific color. So when we talk about 60-something thousand colors, it is very hard to find sometimes color schemes that go with one very specific color. And that is why it's easier for us to actually search for websafe colors. And I will give you one very, very handy tool that you can also use to find the closest websafe color to the color that you are looking for. So basically, if you use a tool like spycolor.com, And if you get here and you just write down, oh, 1 second, okay. You write down the color that you want to search. Basically, what it will do is it will provide you with the closest safe color to this one too. And basically, here it is. So the web safe color that is closest to that one will be 999933. So if I go back to color lovers, and instead of that one, I type in the web safe color that is closest to the one that I'm trying to achieve, I actually get a lot of different color schemes based on that color. So I have probably dozens of color schemes that are based on that initial color. And I can start from here. So I'm trying to find a color scheme that I like for my monster business. I want something that is not very flashy, that does not have a lot of colors. So I want nice hues of my initial color. And I think that probably this color scheme here is a very interesting option. So I can just click the scheme and I will have all the colors available and the hexadecimal colors that I can now type into BindTuning. So let me quickly do this and go to BindTuning and select the colors that I want. So basically I want this one for the background, which is a light green, and I will get back to this. So okay, so this is the one. I want to use this dark green. It's very interesting. So basically probably I will set this color. And I also want to take advantage of this light green here. So let me add it to my color scheme. All right, I can add here. Right, it looks nice. And I will also try to have probably a dark gray and a light gray to help me out in case I need these options later when I'm customizing the theme. And basically, this is my initial option for the color scheme. And this is where I want to start from customizing other elements. And I forgot to show the slide, but this is what a wrap-up of what we just talked about. So choosing colors, adding browser plugins like ColorZilla, which is the most used one for Chrome and Firefox, trying to find matching colors, and for this you can use the Adobe CC previously Cooler or Color Lovers. So these would be my selected tools to help us out select colors when customizing themes in BindTuning. And once you have colors selected, you can actually move on to the next step. And the next step will be choosing fonts. So let's get back to BindTuning. And basically to do it, when you select other settings, you actually have this section here, which is called text styles. This is like a quick way for you to define fonts. Typically, what we used to have on this list were browser-safe fonts, and this actually made sense a couple of years ago or 3 years ago when we first created the tool. Probably right now we are thinking of changing this initial list. You will see different information here very soon. So I suggest that you move on to advanced text styles so that you can actually start customizing your fonts. So basically, I will start by changing the headings font style for this theme. And once I click change, I realize that there are hundreds of fonts available, and this can be a very, very daunting task. So how am I going to select a font that goes well with my logo and that I can work with in BindTuning? So this is an enormous list, and if I click on all the types of fonts, obviously this is also a very large list, and this can be a complicated task. So I'm going to show you another very, very cool tool which is called What the Font. So myfonts.com actually has this free tool available. It's available at myfonts.com / what the font, and it will actually allow you. It's kind of a magic tool for fonts. So it will actually allow you to either write down an URL, or, for example, upload an image. And I'm going to do it. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my monster logo, because I don't know, I can't remember which font the designer used for this logo. So I will select the monster logo and I'll say, okay, let's continue, because I want to know what font is being used in the monster logo. And this will guide me through a process of actually helping the tool identify the letters on the logo. So I will just make sure that the tool is selecting the letters right. So this is an I, an N, this is okay, an E, and let me just move on. Lowercase s again, capital M, O, and S. This is fine. Okay, everything is okay. Let's click continue. And this is it. So an amazing result, very, very fast. I know that this logo is using the Museo font, which is amazing, because if I go back to BindTuning, actually you will see, and okay, I'll just quickly show you this. So this is, I will check on the sans serif fonts. So it's on the serif, trying to find the Museo font, and I know it's here somewhere. Check the slab fonts. So this would be the process that you would, and I know it's here. So actually I can't find it, but I know the Museo font is available. So basically you would select the font from the list. So for the process of this customization, let's try selecting another font from this list. And let me give you one other tip when selecting the fonts. BindTuning, for this list, we are using a service that is provided by another company and by another online service, which is Font Squirrel. So basically, what we are doing is we are providing you with a list of fonts that are actually available on the Font Squirrel website. So the fonts that you see on this list and that you can also search for on this website are the ones that are available at BindTuning. So we can actually quickly select a font, and you can see how Museo is here, so we would find it in the list. You can actually see how we can easily preview fonts, and if you need further information of how the font would look like in different sizes, we could actually get here to Font Squirrel, and you could see how the font will display on different sizes, different weights, and this can be useful information on the process of selecting the font. Basically, for my case, let me check on a serif font, and I want something that is bolder. I think that I will go with this one, Patua 1. I think it looks very good, so it's a bolder font, looks good here. But now I need to find a text font that actually goes well with this one. So how do we pick pairing fonts? And for this we have another very, very cool tool. So some of you probably have heard already of Google Fonts, but probably what you don't know is that Google Font has a very interesting option to look for pairing fonts. And let me look for my Patua 1 font, which is the one that I decided to use. And basically, once I have the font selected, I have this icon here, which is the pop out. And if I click it, you will see that there is an option here that says pairings. And when you click it, it will show you different fonts that go well with this one. So basically, I see that when I use this font for titles, Open Sans would go well with in text. Oswald would also go well in text. Railway would go well in text. Roboto would go well in text. Droid Sans. So I have a lot of different font options that actually go well with the one that I selected for the titles. And this is a very, very handy tool that will help you select fonts that go well with each other, which is typically not a very easy task. So now I have an option for text, and as I go and change the text font, I want a sans serif font that I've seen on that list, and that is called Roboto. So let me try to find it on the list. Okay, here it is. And I'll just change, and now I know that I have two fonts that are actually good together and that will make my theme look good when combined. So nice navigation option here. Okay, so we have our color scheme selected, we have our font selected, but there is a lot more to select from when we are at BindTuning. And let me start by showing you the backgrounds options. So basically at this point, I'm on a layout where I can actually see the background. So if I go and select the background section, there are a lot of different options. So I can go, and if I click this color here, you will see that I can go with a flat color. And basically I could either select one of the colors that are provided either from the color scheme or from the variations of the color scheme, or I could click more colors and I would have the full set of colors available for me to choose from when setting the background. I can actually, and let me show you first the gradients. I can actually set gradients. So if you click on two colors, and let's say that I want a gradient from a light color to a dark color. So you can actually create gradients on the fly by using this tool. So from light to dark, dark to light, whatever option you want. You can use one of the predefined patterns that we have available here. You can also select overlays, and this is a very interesting option. So let me go let me go back to the flat color. And overlays are like transparent patterns that will allow you to see the color that is underneath, but will display different textures. And different textures can actually provide a different sense about the concept of the page. And for example, something grunge like this would go well with what I'm trying to do, because it's the monster site, right? So probably a grunge background would look nice. We also have the option to select pictures, and we do have an initial list of images available, but you can actually upload your own. And if you click on upload pictures, you have the options to select your image files. Please note that there are some restrictions when uploading images. Valid file types are JPEG, PNG, and GIF. There is a limit to the file size, so it's 300 kbytes, and the upload limit per session is 8 images. So if you start uploading, once you get to 8, you will not be able to upload anymore, at least on the same browser session. So basically, just to show you this option, I will upload one of my images, and you will see how it nicely applies to the background of the page. So this is also like a soft grunge background that probably would look nice on this particular page. So we have the backgrounds options. I can also show you specific elements, colors that are available on the customization tool. And once we start going down on the customization panel, you would see, for example, on the textile areas that we have a lot of options that can be changed. And it starts from general text, and I do have a light gray, but I could probably, for example, select a very, very dark green that would go well in the text. You have the option to typically change links on over, buttons, and for example, for buttons, let me show you. You can preview this. If you go to the buttons section within BindTuning, you will see that you can actually preview how buttons will look like. And quickly, depending on the CMS platform that you are using, default buttons on platform areas. So let's say that you have administration areas, different type of forms. The default button is the one that is called default. So if you are trying to set the color for your default buttons on your specific CMS platform, this is the one that you should be setting first. So if I don't want my buttons to be this dark all the time, what I should do is get here to the default button, and I'm going to select a very light gray for my button. So I want my default button to be something like this. And then I have the option to actually select the primary color for the buttons. But using this type of button here, so either the primary or these variations for the buttons will require some additional code. So if you can actually change the code for the areas that you are working in, and if you can add this type of classes, so button primary or button success or info and so on, you will actually be able to define these type of buttons. And let's go back to the colors. From here on, the options that are available in terms of colors are very variable, and they greatly depend on the theme that you are working on. So basically, let us go back to the boxed option. For example, on this specific site, I can actually, on this specific theme, I can actually, for example, change the color of the footer. Let's say that this is not exactly what I want. So on this section here, there is the possibility to select the footer background, and I want this one to actually be very dark. If I was, you see that the text over the background is light. If I was to select a very light color, you would see that the text would also adjust based on that background color. So this is something that typically happens with a theme. So you will have the text adjusting as you change background color areas. We would also have the possibility to make exactly the same changes when it comes to navigation. So let's say that I don't like this light color when mouse overing the top navigation, and I want something slightly different. I can also make this selection on this menu section here. We have also the tokens area that I already quickly talked about. So basically, if you want to unselect some of the tokens in use, you can do it. So let's say that I do not need a search, it can be removed. Or on the bottom, if I don't need, for example, a copyright area, I can just take it off. So basically, you have control over multiple areas within the theme by using this customization tool. And if you are actually still doubtful about exactly what customization you want to achieve, you can actually save some examples for later. And this is possible right next to the download button. So you have two little icons here. One, which is the save button, will allow you to actually save this configuration. It will be saved as an XML file. So I can say my first monster theme, and it will save it locally to my computer. And the next time that I actually want to get back to BindTuning and recover that same exact configuration, I can just click the load button and it will ask me to select an XML file, and I can go back and select one of the files that I've previously saved. So this will help you actually keep track of lots of different customizations while you're still testing different versions. This way, you can just keep trying different possibilities for your website before you actually download the final version for the site. Okay, and I believe that I've covered most of the elements in the customization panel. Let me just quickly show you one thing. So basically, once you are ready, you just click download, and then you would proceed through the process. So for HTML5, we don't have trials, so I would have to proceed to purchase, and I could actually use the credits that I have to download this theme. And I would like to quickly show you one thing that is related to updates in BindTuning. So we are constantly working on new releases, on fixed versions for our themes. And basically, once you download a BindTuning theme, you are always able to go back to BindTuning and download new, so updated versions of your theme as they are released. So you can come to your area, select one of your themes, and you will see that if an upgrade is available, you will actually see an upgrade button, and you can, for free, you can upgrade to the latest version. So this is a very cool way to keep your theme updated, and you will know that if any bugs are detected, you will always be able to go to BindTuning and download the latest version. Okay, in case you need some inspiration, and if the magic tool is not enough, or if these tools that I've just showed are also not enough, you can actually get some inspiration from our customer showcase. And basically, when you go to bindtuning.com and select one of our themes, if you scroll down the page to the very bottom, you will be able to see what others have done. And if you start clicking, you will find lots of different cool ideas based exactly on the same theme, and you can see what others have done with it and how they are customizing, changing, and using BindTuning themes in their own projects. Some useful resources before we end today's webinar. If you have questions or if you need some help and support, you can always use our forums. So basically, BindTuning forums have a lot of different articles. They are separated by platforms. So depending on the platform, you will have documentation, you will have FAQs, you will have some known issues, some suggestions from the community. So a lot of information is available on our knowledge base. You can also submit a request if you are not happy with information that is provided in all these articles. Then you have the webinars page. So basically, this webinar right now will also be available if you need to get some further information after we end today. You can actually go to this page, bindtuning.com/webinars, and watch either this or other of the previous webinars that we have had so far. Then we have some articles on our Academy website. Our Academy website is intended not to show technology related directly to our themes, but technology in general. So we try to publish a lot of different articles with information that is related to the different platforms that we work with. and that might be of interest. So there is a lot to read on our Academy blog. And well, then you have the tour, so very basic information about how BindTuning works. Okay, so if you have questions, you can always email us at support@bindtuning.com. We're here to help you, and feel free to contact us. And thank you for your presence today on the webinar. Bye.